Hey gang, Ken Hackathorn. I'm here at Bill Wilson's ranch down in Texas talking to my old buddy Bill Wilson. You know, he's done quite a bit in the last decade or so of expanding the Wilson Combat line, and he's got some real favorites. And I'm curious, I've got the question for you, Bill. What guns are your favorites and why are you so attracted to some of these models?
Okay. Well, as far as the 1911 platform is concerned, Ken, uh, I basically use these three guns here. I mean, this is pretty much, serve. It pretty much takes care of all my needs as far as self protection and range use. You know, my preference for a range gun. As we've discussed in previous episodes, I've always had a preference for a shorter sight radius on the compacts ever since the eyes started going south. The old age sets in. But anyway, this is a CQB Elite compacts built on a steel frame with a light rail, and this is my personal choice for a range gun. I mean, when all my buddies come over to shoot, which we do, almost every weekend that we don't have a class or we don't have a hunt going on or I'm traveling or something like that. That's my range gun, and that's usually run it with a 10-round magazine because most of the guys in our group shoot 10-round magazines in their full size 9mm. So uh, that's my pick for a range gun. Daily carry gun on the ranch, and the majority of the time, this is another CQB Elite, but this one's built on an aluminum frame, lighter to carry. Uh, I forego the mag well because I can carry the flush magazine in it, and it keeps the butt just a little bit shorter for concealment. And I've gone with the thin grips, so it's, as you can see there, the gun's pretty thin with a
Oh, yeah.
thin grips on it. So these guns are basically spec'd out the same. So when I've been practicing with this one on the range and I have this one in my holster to carry gun, there's not a lot of difference between the two guns. I mean, the
This
top
one is a hair lighter.
this one's a hair lighter and just a little bit smaller because it doesn't have the speed shoot on it and stuff like that. So this is the gun I carry daily on the ranch, and I carry if I travel, to Paris for groceries or into town in Clarksville or whatever, places like that. This is the gun I typically carry. Okay, if I go somewhere like, for example, to St. Louis to visit my daughter that lives in St. Louis, there might be a time when I might need a little more firepower. And so typically, if I go in a place where I think the odds have increased of me actually needing a self defense weapon, I usually carry the X9 because I carry this one. I got 8-round mag, one up the pipe, so I've got 9 in the gun. 10. I carry a 10-round magazine for my spare. I got 19 rounds here because unlike you that typically carry 2 mags, I usually just carry one because I got my phone and my flashlight and all this other crap on my belt. Uh, so if I go with a X9, now I've got a 31 round package,
Yeah.
between what's in the gun and the
And a
spare
spare
magazine.
mag, 31 rounds.
31 rounds. And
And
hopefully I'm smart enough to not get myself in a situation where I need more than 31 rounds.
here's a tough question. All good guns. If you only could have one of these three,
If I could only have one, I would take the range gun because I know I can shoot this gun. I mean, literally, as long as I can get a barrel replacement, every 80,000 rounds or something like that, I know I won't live long enough to wear this sliding frame out.
Right.
Yeah, as you well know, these things, if you keep them lubed, you can just shoot them and shoot them and shoot them.
They run forever.
And it's a little heavier, but I can deal with that. So the full size or the steel frame X-Tac Elite with a light rail. If I had to only have one
Yeah.
gun to carry and shoot on the range and things like that, that'd have to be the one I would pick.
I get a lot of people ask me questions, I'm sure you do too, about which gun should I go for? What do you recommend? I hope they get to see this segment because it kind of covers the base.
All right. Good visiting with you again, Ken.
Okay.